Welcome back to the Armenian Museum of America. I'm Gary Lind-Sinanian, the curator, and I'd like to share another one of our artifacts with you today. This outfit here. This costume belonged to Tom Amirian, Shatakh Amirian, who was from Van and emigrated to Boston. He was a prominent character in the community for many years. One of these genial old fellows, always telling jokes. Literally, he was always telling jokes. The man kept 100 punchlines in his pocket, and he used to review the punchlines so it would remind him of the jokes so he could tell them constantly. So if you met the man, he'd seem very upbeat. But in point of fact, Tom Shatakh, like so many of his generation, had a very tragic past. He was born in the town of Shatakh, south of Van. His family were cloth weavers. This actually was woven by his own family, the cloth of this outfit. Tom was, he was born in 1910, and he was in the siege of Van in 1915 when he was 5 years old. And the costume that he wore was very large on him, basically swam in it, because these kinds of costumes will be made to be worn for several years as a child is growing. So they make them very loose, and of course, the older you get, the tighter it gets as you grow into it. Then finally you'll have to change the costume. And he was in the actual siege of Van in 1915, and he was one of the fighters at 5 years old. He was very proud of that fact, that he was one of the fighters. They gave the little boy a penknife, and the walls of the buildings were adobe, and so if you were shooting at the Armenians and the bullet hit a wall, it would sink into the wall. So his job would be to go to the wall, find the place, dig out the bullets, and bring them back to the gunsmith, so the gunsmith could make bullets for the Armenians to use when they were trying to resist the Turkish siege. And so, he had literally been through the war as a small child, but as an adult, you'd never guess it. He basically tried to totally repress it, which is very typical of some of the survivors. This is how they dealt with the trauma of it. This is the costume that he wore, and notice the design of it. It's actually very similar to a karate gi, the way that the shirt is designed, which just crosses over in front. You have a very large sash, which might be as long as 20 feet long. You just keep wrapping it around and around you, and this is what a boy would wear. And if you had you had no pockets per se in the outfit, so if you wanted to carry something in your pocket, you had to put it in the folds of your sash. There were plenty of folds, so it was easy to do. But this is one of many costumes in the collection, but it's one of only 3 male costumes in the collection, in the sense that Armenians, well, most people everywhere, the men don't really care about their clothing. You use it up, you wear it out, you throw it away. You don't really think about it. Ladies do. The ladies will take the costumes, they might preserve them, and so we have many female costumes in our collection, but only a few male. And this is one of the males, right here, Shatakh Amirian. The Armenian Museum is here to share our stories and our culture with you, the public. We thank you for listening and for joining us. We hope you'll join us again. Until then, stay safe.